Hi everyone, my name is Amina.
And my name is Sarah.
Today, Sarah and I are going to share with you what's inside my phonics box. This box has been my go-to resource for teaching my boys the foundations of reading and writing during their early years. So let's get started. Sarah, you want to get the first one out? Oh, and Aladdin's lamp. I don't remember having this in my phonics box, Sarah.
I'm joking, Miss Amina. I put it in there just for some fun.
Okay, Sarah, so you play with your Aladdin lamp and you can help me when you want to come in.
Okay, Miss Amina, I'll watch you do this and then I'll come and help you if you need help from me.
So the first thing I've got is a tray. What do you think I use a tray for?
I know, Miss Amina, you used to use this to put food on and eat.
That doesn't mean, Sarah, that you should be eating the tray. You're right, Sarah. Sometimes I did used to use it for food, but most of the times I used it for sand. You put sand on this, or I would put glitters.
Glitters? That sounds wonderful.
I used to also put lentils. The sandwriting tray is an incredible tool for young children because it provides hands-on tactile experience of forming shapes and letters. In the Montessori handwriting sequence, this tray works like the metal insets, which is coming next. Metal insets to prepare children for handwriting. When children trace sandpaper letters with their fingers, they get to feel the letter's shape, like this, while reinforcing the strokes and direction to form it. Then they practice tracing letters in the sand, adding a sensory layer to their learning experience. The sand writing tray supports your child in hand-eye coordination, tactile kinesthetic feedback for hands and the whole body, developing fine motor movements for letter formation, enhancing tactile, visual and auditory recognition of letters. It's such a versatile and effective tool for early writing development. So now we have the metal insets. Let's have a look at the shape. The metal insets are the first steps in teaching handwriting in Montessori. They're fun and classic tool, just like sandpaper letters. This activity is very important because it helps kids get ready for writing. Well, it might look like they're just making pretty shapes and designs. They're actually building strength and control they need for writing letters. When Uthman used this tool, he wasn't just drawing. He was also practicing and strengthening his hand for writing in a fun way. In Montessori, learning to write begins with practical life activities that strengthen hand muscles and pencil grasp, not the language curriculum. Allowing children to develop these skills prevents frustration and setbacks later. Uthman, who had struggled with fine motor tasks, showed significant improvement through these activities. He enjoyed them, and his hand-eye coordination and muscle strength noticeably improved. Next, I have sight words. They're flashcards. Sight words, so they're different levels. I'll open one and show you. And there's a summary of all of them. And then we've got the sight words here. Sight words, they build vocabulary. Sight words are common words in books, so knowing them helps kids understand more of what they read. And these flashcards makes learning fun. You can turn it into a game, or you can stick them on the wall and take them off as they learn them, and they will see them reducing, and children will feel good about that. My next one is a set of books, the Oxford Reading Tree. It's widely used reading program that helps children develop reading skills step by step. So there's levels. With engaging characters like Biff, Chip, Kipper and Floppy the dog, the books feature fun stories and vibrant illustrations that make reading enjoyable. When I introduced these books to my son Uthman, and even before Uthman, Omar also learned to read using these books, what I found most helpful was how the books combined phonics practice with exciting narratives. So my children weren't just reading words, they were enjoying the whole process, making it feel like a fun adventure, and they felt they finished a book. Each time they felt they finished a book, they liked to move on to the next book, and it got harder as they progressed. My next set of resources are these Songbird phonics books. They're often used as part of Oxford Reading Tree series. They are specifically designed to help children develop their reading skills using phonics. So what I like is that they gradually progress. The stories are engaging, they're repetitive, children get to practice their reading, they feel they've accomplished something when they finish reading a book. And words are introduced in meaningful sentences and stories, helping children understand their context rather than just memorizing isolated words. And yeah, it just boosted their self-confidence. Overall, Songbird books turn phonics practice into an enjoyable experience, setting a foundation for lifelong reading skills. And my next surprise from the box is...
Da-da-da-da. It's me!
So using puppets has been a great way to keep Uthman engaged during our sessions. I would use puppets like Sarah,
Hello everybody!
which made the learning process more interactive and fun. The puppets helped bring the stories to life. We also encouraged them to participate more actively, as they loved using the puppets to mimic the actions and conversation in the books, as well as a conversation in between to break any boredom.
Like the way I come in, Miss Amina.
Yes, Sarah, thank you for that.
Thank you, Miss Amina, for having me in the stories.
You can introduce your child to a toy frog called Fred. Once he or she is ready to start reading words, Fred can only say the sounds in a word and needs your child to help him read the word. Fred will say the sounds and children will work out the word. For example, Fred will say b-a-t and children will say bat. Or you can also use robot talk. R-e-d, red. H-e-n, hen. So using puppets does make it come to life and children do enjoy reading. I think I use it mostly to keep the interest going. To reinforce what the children were learning, I used flashcards and worksheets from Twinkle, such as these. This one, for example, these are the 100 high frequency words. So I just printed out these maps. And these were a lot of worksheets. Just gave them practice after we did a session. Did lots of practice. And then I've had loads. I've printed out lots of these because they're just quick. Like sometimes when you sit with the children, you quickly make them read. We'd go over them together regularly, helping Uthman connect the words he was reading in the books with their written forms. This repetition helped strengthen his word recognition, making him feel more confident and prepared for each new story. So I also have this in my phonics box. Now this wasn't something that Sarah put in. These are rubber bands, and they were useful for putting flashcards together. They stay organized. Well, here's one set of flashcards I have. They were just quick. They were good for quickly reading. For example, this one when I was doing the sound, a run in the sun, CVC words, and then there's pictures to match. So here's another set of flashcards. I printed out a lot of flashcards from Twinkle. This one, for example, has the capital letter and small letter, and you have to match them. I also printed out a lot of assessment papers. So this one is first 100 high frequency words assessment. So every time Uthman was able to read a word, I'd give him a tick, then I'd keep a record of which ones he didn't know and then emphasize those. This one is year-line baseline phonics assessment. So I'd do a small assessment whenever I could. And that was my phonics box reveal. Hope you enjoyed it.
Stay tuned for more interesting teaching videos by Mrs. Amina.